now for a couple of nights. Need to rebuild myself to come alive. It all makes sense now, now that the lights out. It's a different world to me, it makes me feel down. Wait until the storm comes down, until the sleep comes and makes it alright. Waiting for the morning light. Been having trouble to sleep now for a couple of nights. Need to rebuild myself to come alive. It all makes sense now, now that the lights out. It's a different world to me, it makes me feel down. Wait until the storm comes down, until the sleep comes and makes it alright. Waiting for the morning light. your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and sound.
Hello and welcome everybody. Playoffs and the momentum leading up to it is all but high at this point.
You have to go into every gunfight in this game, especially where trades are almost a necessity. A Seeker will come through and steal 3.
God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trade here on a Wednesday night.
Welcome everybody to the grand finals, the culmination of an entire season's worth of work, all coming down to one best of 5. I'm Shifty here, going to be your desk host for the night, joined on my left, Comica, Kyle, McCart, and McCornmeal, Alex McCormish on my right. How are we doing tonight, fellas? Corn, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, dude. You know, when I hear grand finals, there's one thing that my body does, and it just gets really tight so it can all explode at the end of the night. So I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
Kyle, how we doing, man? Are you excited for this best of 5?
I'm also ready, but I'm not going to explode. I promise. That'd be very graphic.
It would be bad for the YouTube monetization, to say the least.
Right.
If you're just joining us, or if you're not familiar with the league, we have a hell of a matchup tonight in the grand finals. Valiant Gaming coming in at 9-2, a 28-8 total map count on the season. Natural Talent coming in at 10-1 with a 30-8 map count. So 2 powerhouse teams here in the league who have absolutely been making waves, not only in the K7 scene, but also in the challengers as well, with players like Estriel 47 and company for the side of Valiant Gaming. And we have a phenomenal matchup ready ahead of us. Speaking of these two teams, let's take a look at the rosters. Let's look at that Valiant Gaming roster first. Again, they're coming in here the favorites. Both of these teams did play during week number 8, and Valiant Gaming came out and stomped a mud hole in Natural Talent. And at this point, Natural Talent's out for revenge. We've got Hyper, Flames, Estriel, and 47 rounding off that squad of 4. Let's hop over to Natural Talent and take a look at who the revenge squad is going to be here tonight. That is going to be Sporto, Katsi, Bishi, and Mir, 4 players whom we know very well here throughout K7. We've got the who is playing. Let's take a look at the where. This best of 5 is going to be a good one, and we've got it coming up here on your screen. It is going to be Garrison first in that hard point, and then we've got a Miami S&D, a Raid Control, and should we need them, Checkmate and Raid for the hard point and S&D respectively. I'm very, very, very excited for this best of 5. Fellas, what are we thinking here? Corn, it's been a long season. We're rounding it off here now. Yep. Who are we expecting to see, and what are you expecting to see from both squads here tonight?
I mean, first and foremost, it's kind of hard to overlook the side of Valiant Gaming with the roster they have to bring to the table, specifically when you look at a player like 47, who is consistently placed inside of top 16 throughout the entirety of challengers throughout the year and the community cups, has placed extremely well in a lot of the CCL activities that he's been doing, and of course playing well inside of K7. You really can't beat this 4-man roster for the side of Valiant Gaming, not because of all the players that are on the roster, but because of how well they play together, Shifty. It's crazy, and they're top players for a reason. When you see players placing at least top 16 every single weekend in the cups, they're having to beat the likes of great and top amateur talent every single weekend. The fact that they're continuously able to do this is no stretch of remarkable, and they're going to continue to do that here tonight. I predict a 3-0 here instead of the series. I don't think we'll have to see a checkmate hardpoint.
Oh, wow. Okay, the bold prediction coming out of Corn first. Kyle, over on the other side, you and I had the pleasure of being a part of one of the previous matches from Natural Talent, you being on the production and myself being on the casting desk. With that performance that we saw from them coming out against Rated Gold, do you think they have a chance here tonight to maybe bounce back and get some revenge on this squad that beat them again by a score of 3-0 during that week number 8 matchup?
Well, Shifty, like you said, they stomped a little bit of a hole in them, and I'll go a little bit of a step further and to say they stomped a hole the size of the Grand Canyon in them in that series. It was not really even close at all for any of the game. But we have seen some roster changes. We've seen Bishi really going ham, especially in the S&D, which, I mean, frankly, I'm going to be honest, we've not seen VG faring too well. They've dropped all of their S&Ds in their last 2 games. Granted, they've won all the respawns, but still, the Search and Destroy has been a little bit lacking. Bishi coming in here going to be strengthening the S&D for good old Natural Talent. So I would say it's going to be a 3-1 into the hands of good old Valiant tonight.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up Bishi. I really think that he is going to be a player to key in on here tonight. He's currently leading the Natural Talent squad in playoff kill-death ratio in at a 1.39. So he's really sort of taking the mantle, that lead, if you will, for the side of Natural Talent, especially when it comes to absolutely erasing the other side off of the map. And one thing that I will bring up too, we see this Miami S&D, something that some teams tend to be a little polarizing on. Some teams really love it, some teams really hate it. And here's an interesting stat for you. Natural Talent with this entire season, without losing a single S&D besides to one team, and that is this Valiant Gaming squad. So definitely have a matchup for the ages here tonight. Corn, give me your thoughts. Who is going to be the players to watch out for here for the side of Valiant Gaming and here for the side of Natural Talent?
Well, first and foremost, as I said beforehand, you're going to be looking at 47 pretty much throughout the entire series. What he brings to the table as an SMG player, he's explosive on the map. He gets you those big plays, and he's going to be one of those first players out on rotation, making sure his team gets in position to set up for the next hard point, specifically when we talk about a Garrison hard point, where you need that a lot, and that can't really be understated because of how spread out the map can be and how far along the hard points can be. But you also string those hills together, but specifically looking at the rest of the roster here for the side of Valiant Gaming, you can point out to every single player, but another player I really want to key into here is gonna be Estriel. Estriel, I've seen him play multiple times. He's played on LAN at a couple events where I've been able to cast over him. I know what the kid has been able to do since the very beginning of his career. He's continuously been able to step up to the big stage every single time he's needed to. He's going to do that once again here tonight. And if we look on the side of natural talent, you know, we already keyed into Bishy, who's been key in the S&Ds, but he's really kind of picked up that fourth man on the side of natural talent coming in a little bit later on in the season and almost changed the entire complexion of what this team was beforehand. Because when we saw natural talent before, we're like, okay, you know, they're a top team. They're most likely going to be in the grand finals, if not being able to take it all. If they can beat Valiant Gaming, and Bishy just is another piece of the puzzle that really just makes it click. And I think he's that final kind of boss piece that they needed to elevate this roster even further.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think with the performance that we've been seeing from him here recently, he may very well be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the SMG play from the side of Valiant. They're going to need him in a big way, to say the least. Kyle, now give me your thoughts here. What is going to be the key to victory? We talked about how important this match must be for the side of natural talent, especially after you and I saw a little bit of showboating last week last match onto that rated gold squad. And with that being said, I mean, it's got to hurt the mental a little bit from the side of natural talent, knowing that realistically you had a cakewalk in this league, except for this one squad who, again, beat you relatively handily. So with that being said, what is the key to victory here for them to make sure that natural talent does not fall in a 3-0 or 3-1 fashion?
Well, the big things here are not going to just be, as Corin pointed out, the top players, but it's also going to be the weakest link. Who can really exploit the weakest link and who can strengthen it and just like cover your Achilles heel the best. So far for both teams, I hate to point out the worst things in teams, but so far for Valiant Gaming, it has been Hyper, like you pointed out earlier, with some awesome stats. One of those stats is that he's at like, what, a 0.6-ish KD?
0.67, yeah, 0.67 coming in from Hyper throughout the playoffs, so definitely a little lackluster.
Yeah, and to the same note, over on the other side, I hate to say it because he's such a good player, is Mare. He's an otherwise very, very good performance from natural talent throughout the entire course of the season. He's just been the one that's a little bit more towards the back of the pack. And yeah, so what I'm saying is that it's all good to have really good players, but it's really going to depend on if you can cover the back line a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we're looking at everybody going to have to come out here and fire on all cylinders, I think, to say the least. Now, again, looking at this best of 5, we've got Garrison coming up first in the hard point. Both teams very, very proficient in their hard points throughout the league here. 13-3 from the side of natural talent and 12-2 from the side of Valiant Gaming. So definitely neither team a slouch, to say the least, in this mode. Garrison, one of those maps that can be very, there's a sort of duality, if you will, in the play styles. You've got some longer sight lines over towards P2, being able to lock down that satellite area. Now, Kyle, I want to ask you, do we see one of the SMG players from Valiant Gaming really run away with this? Or is this going to be a tale of maybe the ARs and maybe one of those maps where those lower end players, maybe on the terms of the performance category, will they pop off here in a big way due to the map pool here?
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing to point out here, Shifty. And I think that we've seen 47 on this map and the man can definitely go ham, but I don't know. There are also some positions, like you said, that ARs can really go and just absolutely wipe the floor with people as well. I think it's really going to come down to how teams really come at this map. And speaking of this map, ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting in with it.
Yes, we are. Take it away, guys. Again, thank you for joining us here on the grand finals match. Map number 1, going to be Garrison Hardpoint, Corn, Kyle. Let's give us something flashy. Show off these fans.
Oh, Kyle, here we go, baby. Garrison map number 1, a hard point. We talked great about both of these two teams. Now we really get to see the step up to the plate almost for not only the side of Valiant Gaming, but Natural Talent. Can you rewrite your history? You lose 0-3 in that game in week number 8. You come here looking for not only a grand finals win, but to win the entirety of season 3. And well, I couldn't be happier to go and be here alongside you, Kyle. Map number 1, Valiant Gaming, Natural Talent, K7 Season 3 comes to an end with one final best of 5 series.
Yeah, it's going to be basically the two best teams so far, aside from Heartbreakers, who we saw lose to Valiant Gaming last week, but it was pretty close the entire series. Now, Corn, like we did point out earlier on, these teams, they have gone against each other in the past, and it was not such a fun time for Natural Talent. Now, I know that there are a lot of things going into that, like the fact that they weren't really practicing a whole bunch. I'm sure they were practicing coming into this because there's a huge cash differential for if they win or if they lose. This is more close to home in terms of you will get money or you don't get money. So that with the combination of a new roster change, I think we're going to be seeing a completely different NT tonight.
And the thing too, right, you know, both of these teams, obviously with Heartbreakers getting that forfeiture win over the side of Rated Gold the other night, you know, Heartbreakers do get a free entry in towards Season 4. Both of these teams, I believe, also have that free entry for them as well, on top of being able to play for the money here tonight. So, with all those things kind of culminating into one very special Grand Finals, folks, we're loaded here on to Garrison Natural Talent on the right, Valiant Gaming on the left. Hopefully we can hop on board with 47 to start this game off, because he's going to be getting aggressive right off the rip.
Oh, I will happily hop in with 47 here, Corn. Like we've seen, he does have some very explosive moves. This guy is a very huge showboater. Not necessarily in that he brags, but that he has explosive starts. He already gets in 1 kill, but I mean, kills coming out the other end here as well. Natural Talent with some good overall map positioning, but if they want anything to go their way other than just, you know, this next hill, then they're going to have to do something and come out of those positions.
Well, Sporto helps Mir find the first. Mir picks up the second on the flame, so that's going to give them at least a little bit of control over towards point number 1. But with 47 getting a huge 2 and getting the security, or at least the security over towards P number 2, over by the satellite, that's going to allow Natural Talent to kind of have to play a bit more passive here. You got to either shift your focus, get the Valiant Gaming off of the scrap time, or send all of your attention over towards point 2. Make sure you get that, because if you give the side of Valiant Gaming both, they're going to run away with a full 60.
Yeah, one thing that I did see in the last time Valiant Gaming played this map is Estriel. He got that early rotation. He absolutely went ham in so far that he got streaks. But Mir and Esporto managed to shut him down very early on, and they got a quick break. But speaking of a quick break, Flames coming out the back end. He's going to fry Mir and just going for Esporto as well, and he's got help as if he even needs it. Catsy going down for the count as well, and despite a little bit of an early hiccup, Valiant Gaming is going to retake this very strongly.
Yeah, they get forward down, they set up a pinch play there to get in towards the point, and usually you don't see players pulling out towards that top green side, but they do it there, and it works out in flying colors, pays off in space. So as 47 crosses the bridge, he'll find some shots down on a Catsy, cleans up Fishy in the process, and now if you're the side of Natural Talent, once again, you've lost P1, you've lost P2, now you got to set up for P3 again, but if Valiant Gaming can once again break like we just saw over towards P2, and we know that they can, this game could run away just in the first 3 hard points alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that happens, Corn. This next objective is going to be very telling, just like you said, especially telling in that Estriel's trying to go for these spawn flips. He does get a Spuro to spawn a little bit weird, but it split spawns because he doesn't totally have control over them just yet, and he is going to get taken down, so that does reassert dominance for Natural Talent. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're totally safe here, because Flame's going to get a nice little pick here, and his teammates are all up in there and with him. That's a good thing that Valiant Gaming has going for them right now, and that they're all together for this push.
Yeah, Estriel on 4 was shut down on a backwards push, but Esporto will fall to Flames. Mir with the trade will come through, so this is great time for Natural Talent. You've got 20 seconds in your favor. You look for the last 35 here in Valiant Gaming. Now it's your time to finally make a decision in this game. Do you push for the P3 spawns and then get the last couple seconds of P3, or do you play for the next trash hill, set up on the bridge, set up in top green, and then go for the spawn trap in tow? We'll have to just see what they kind of want to go with, but with the kills coming through from Natural Talent, it looks like it'll be the lab.
That's a great cleanup from Mir. He takes down 3 despite getting stuck himself, and that does allow a little bit of spawn tomfoolery, as we do always see on this map, Corn. Mir now spawns basically himself into top green, so it's going to be a very difficult situation for Valiant. They're going to try and get in here, but Esporto already on the objective, going to make things difficult for them. And with this territorial disadvantage, I mean, it would be very hard for them to get the objective. So, in fact, they actually go past it and get the spawn. So I think that's a great adjustment being made for Valiant.
Yeah, they make a good play. Once again, they're able to set up that top green and then bridge hold for the spawn trap. And as Catsy finds two, Flames will come in and find the next. So as he looks over towards the dark side and by caution reads the spawn from the side of Natural Talent oh so perfectly. Here's gonna jump down, shots along the top. 47's there for the help. And we look at the kills right now for the side of Valiant Gaming, slaying out the side of Natural Talent in pretty much every single category. Hyper's still struggling just a bit, but with 55 seconds in the hill and going on to a minute, it's really not going to be that apparent since Valiant Gaming can rely on him to get that time and put the most important thing in the lead for them, which is the score.
Yeah, indeed, Corn. Now, Natural Talent is still pretty dang close, but a hard point's worth in the lead now is going to be Valiant Gaming. Now, these next two hills, if Natural Talent can play their cards right, they could even surpass their opponents here and get a solid lead going here as well. They've actually pushed them very, very far back, but maybe a little bit too far back as Flames does spawn a little bit around the back. But Bishy, he's wise to it, and he does take him down, but nobody really getting control over this time. They're very, very cautious of the fact that they don't have total spawn control here, Corn, and just like that, their worst fears are about to come true with a full pinch from both sides.
Flame spawns in the back twice. I don't know if he's going to see player number 7 there, and he won't. So Mir will get the kill on the Flames, clear out the back spawn, but it is the side of Valiant Gaming who are able to push in through the front to get in the time and at least contest. So, with 30 seconds left on the hard point, Natural Talent, they've got control for now. What will Valiant Gaming be able to do on the break back? And it's absolutely nothing. Hyper, the last one alive, will fall. Natural Talent gets a much needed about 10 to 15 seconds there before a contest comes through. Valiant Gaming can push back, but right now, they've got to be careful because if they don't get pushed up the map far enough and they continuously get put in this spawn trap all the way in the back, they're not going to be able to get in towards P1.
That's exactly what I'm worried about here, Corn. This is pretty much one of the only maps where P1 can get turned into an absolute money hill, but Valiant Gaming, they're going to be in the positions to deny that possibility right now. They're basically strewn throughout the entirety of the map, one in green, one in the back spawn, and yeah, they're just literally all over. They're not going to get tagged down in here by any means, but I mean, Natural Talent still in a great position to get a lot of time off of this. That's still going to force Valiant Gaming's hand to come out here if they don't want to lose this lead and potentially the spawns here as well, because even those aren't certain right now.
Yeah, one player I didn't really mention in the pre-show was a Sporto, and he isn't having a great flashy game right now, but being that main AR for the side of Natural Talent, he provides so much in the way not only of slaying, but just being in the right position almost every single time you watch him play. In game number 1, he's been able to do that for the most part, and even though he's only got about 34 seconds, he leads the team, and although Natural Talent's down by about 30, almost 40 points now, it really begs the question for the side of VG, are you going to be able to keep Natural Talent at bay for the rest of this game if they kind of hit that next gear, get a little bit of momentum in their flavor, and then be able to rotate over towards the next point? That's just the big question they kind of have to be able to answer, and well, so far they've answered back.
That's a tasty kill right there for 47. He's gotten 3 of them, speaking of flavor, and now we're going to be seeing Natural Talent with a little bit of presence mid-map, but I mean, yeah, it's just basically scrappy as it gets, people spawning every which way, but 47, you pointed him out earlier, he's still going off. Esriel does fall off the streaks, but 47, he can still get them. Natural Talent, they're going to be forced to spawn away from P3, and with the hold that Valiant Gaming has right now, I don't think that's such a bad thing for them. They basically got a window into these next spawns as well, and with 47, he's absolutely going ham right now, Corn. He's 1 off. Just any amount of score will put him onto streaks, and that is basically going to be GG's.
Well, he had been quiet, but he's not going to stay extremely quiet for long. 23 and 15 on 6, looking to go ahead and get full. As Catsy comes down, 47's gonna pick off a Sparto, and he's 1 killer, and maybe even a trophy system away from being able to get full streaks. You get it though, the wall bangs there onto Catsy. 8 in a row, can you go for 9? You'll back off for the time, rotate over towards P3, be able to set yourself up. But as I was saying beforehand, Kyle, it was about a 30-point game. Now we're looking at a 100-point game after a full 60 from the side of VG on P2.
Yeah, whether he gets the 9th or not, damage is already done. He's got 2 streaks. And if Natural Talent wants to come back in this game, they're eventually going to have to come into a very, very open hill, which means it's a perfect opportunity for 47 to use his streaks here, dude. Yes, he's on 11 right now, Corn. Oh my god. He's just going right down the middle of the map. His teammates are helping him out very well here, but yeah, somehow is still alive here. I absolutely cannot believe this.
Spots a Sporto, pre-fires the Bishy, can't find it, so we'll end on a 12. Bishy tries to push towards the hill, and Hyper's gonna be there, but good news for Natural Talent, you haven't broken 100 points yet, but Valiant Gaming cannot win off of this previous hardpoint. They'll have to rotate towards next, so NT if you're able to hold down not only the first 2 hard points in Ps 4 and 5, but then rotate all the way back to 1, 2, and 3, then you could go ahead and win the game if you held down the full 60. But with the way that Valiant Gaming's been playing, Flames finding 2, and well, really only one person playing in towards that hard point right now, it's going to look very, very, how should I say, not good. Sure, we'll say not good because it's not good. Valiant Gaming has absolutely put them in the blender through map number 1. NT trying to come back. 47 streaks will come through. 6 more seconds will get them to win map number 1. And with Katsy being the last line of defense and not being able to get onto the hard point, that's going to be it. VG with an impressive map number 1 performance, win it 250 to 105 and take a 145-point victory in map number 1 into the S&D.
That hill was not one you wanted to depend on for a solid hold. Sporto, he did the best he could, as you saw here at the end. I mean, just full chowing with minimal health, but what else can you really do in that situation? Ladies and gentlemen, it is now Valiant Gaming 1 and Natural Talent 0 at the end of map 1.
Oh boy. Oh brother.
What a hard point. Yeah, what a hard point that was. 250 to 105. I was taking some notes down here as the game was going on, and just a minor detail for you guys. We talked earlier about how impressive these teams were in hardpoint. Here's a quick stat for you. During the first 3 hardpoints of that second rotation, Natural Talent didn't get a single point. So we saw them go from 114 to 77 at the end of P5 to 143 to 95 in P1 at the end of P1 for the second set of rotations, to 191 to 95 in P2 to 244 to 95. That is a 130-point consecutive run for the side of Valiant Gaming, and it came almost all on the backs of a 12-kill streak coming out of 47. What a phenomenal hard point. Now, Korn, talk to me. Yeah. You play as well. You play in a competitive scene as well and have been in and around the competitive scene for a while. What does that do for you? I mean, we have talked all week about how this was going to be the revenge potential for Natural Talent. That's got to be deflating, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm not really in a competitive sense playing anymore. This casting thing has really taken over, and you know, maybe I'll hop on league play here every once in a while now. But I mean, back when I did play, you know, going inside of the mind of the players, you kind of have to take into consideration, number one, okay, you played Garrison last time in the series against them, and it didn't fare well for you. This time, same results. So if you're going into a game like this against a team where you've been beat before on specific maps, you want to change up the entire complexion of what that series is going to look like. For example, 47, when he was on a CCL roster with Carlton, when he was playing Ottawa Black, they played them in a specific map set, changed up what they were doing, played a brand new 5 maps entirely against that roster, and then they were able to take a map. So that's the biggest thing, right? So if you're doing the same thing here, if you're looking at Natural Talent, you're looking at VG, they're fine with playing the same maps again because they have the confidence on it. NT, they want to build that confidence, but you want to start out on a different map, whether it be a bad map for you or not. Even if Garrison's your best map, you got beat on it already. So try something else up, flip that a little bit differently, and then try it that way. But Kyle, here comes your golden goose, baby. Miami, more specifically the Search and Destroy. This is where you said that Natural Talent really had that chance against VG, but after a hardpoint performance like that, and what Shifty was asking me, I don't know if it's enough in the mindset for the set of Natural Talent to come out here in the second map and really be able to take it. But again, at this high of a level of play, nobody really has those nerves, and nobody after a map is going, oh my god, we suck.
I agree with you. We'll see. I mean, we'll see, won't we? I mean, this is going to be it. Is map number 2 again, Miami CDL S&D on your screen. Kyle, take me into it. Let's get this second map underway. I'm excited to see if Natural Talent can bounce back.
Yeah, he would really hope that they can do it in a mode like this. This is statistically their best mode, except for the one that they lost to Valiant Gaming, but under different circumstances, obviously. And this has been statistically Valiant Gaming's worst mode in the playoffs. The only maps that they have lost have been on this mode. So this is a best chance, if any, for Natural Talent. But first, they need a Sporto to actually load into the game. Mega unfortunate, as we are going to be coming back to the caster cams. You can see our beautiful faces one last time before this one starts up, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Yay!
Shifty, there you are, buddy.
Hey!
Shifty, I gotta ask you real quick, right?
Sure.
You know, look, obviously you've been spectating just as we have in the background, but you've been able to take a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the statistics, been able to match those up between both of these teams, right? And so going into a Miami S&D, right? Natural talent, you get stomped on map number 1. That's just a given. At Valiant Gaming, they have looked off with Hyper having his struggles inside of the playoffs. So with, you know, in a hardpoint mode, with Hyper being able to kind of almost carry the weight of himself in terms of the time rather than in the slaying department, in S&D, how much does that affect your team comparatively to a Respawn where it's much more important to get that time compared to the kills?
I think it depends on the map, to be honest with you. I think it really depends. It's not too dissimilar to the point you were making earlier as well on the hard points with kind of picking your battles, if you will. I think that matters more on the map. I think on a map like Miami, I think that kill disparity can be a huge problem, especially for the members like Hyper who have struggled a little bit. Again, that 0.67 KD coming in through the playoffs, and with this being the worst map and mode, or with this being the worst mode combination for the side of Valiant Gaming, coming in at 7-4 here on the season in the S&Ds, and again 0-2 in the current S&Ds so far as well throughout the playoffs. Definitely a red flag, I will say. Kyle, what do you think here as we will be eventually loading back up into map number 2 here? Do you think we're going to see a potential go-off moment here for Natural Talent, with it being this map that maybe they may or may not work with well?
You know what, Shifty? It's really going to come down to some things. Like, main thing is the ARs. They're going to have to show up. Usually we were saying it was the sub players, but on a map with big, fat sightlines like this and the potential to go for A, your opponents, they're obviously going to be anticipating a B. Maybe a little bit less so now, but definitely going to be stacking up on that B because it's a pain to retake. But yeah, that really means that you're going to need your ARs a whole lot more, especially in the mid-map, and if you're going for A. So we're going to need a Sporto to pop off against namely Estriel, and we're going to need a lot of help for him in just every single aspect. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it does appear that we're getting back in the game now.
Yes, we are. Again, Miami S&D is coming up right now. Take it away, fellas.
All right, well, here we go. In the back, Valiant Gaming on the offensive try here in round number 1. We've seen a lot of A attempts here on Miami recently, and it looks like we're going to get another taste of that as we start to push up with about 15 seconds ticked off the clock. Esporto and Co. just going to be playing a nice defensive push where they got 1-1-2 spread across the map. As you can take a look at the mini-map right now, you can see they're still trying to work this over towards A, but it's been a bit passive on the offensive side. You've got to stop player number 6 here right off the rip if you want to get a little bit of progress. But Katsy just going to play in the corner, play his life, and wait for the players pushing from the side of VG.
Yeah, I think Estriel didn't fully realize that we were starting yet, even though it was like a minute after we had ended it. Anyways, we're going to be seeing Flames, and the guy is still trying to hold it down. He does get a solid pick there, but that's very much needed because it would have been a 4v2. Now it is only a 3v2, which is a little bit easier to win. Would be a lot easier to win if these guys were more close together, but that could also come into play in their favor if Hyper can find the lone player in Bishy right here.
Would have been great if he was able to find that player down towards the ramp, but with Esporto playing that cheeky little angle in the corner there, Hyper's actually not going to spot him, but Esporto doesn't spot side of Hyper. So Hyper's actually going to be able to rotate this one all the way over towards B. Shots are there, so they know where the last player is. They pretty much know where the bomb is as well, but it is going to go down because nobody from the side of Natural Talent is going to be able to push back over. They actually think the bomb's still over at A, so everybody's just playing passive. Now they're going, what the hell? They're going to rotate back over towards the site, but in the 1 versus 3, Hyper, this is where you need to step up and show that 0.68 KD is not going to last for long.
Yeah, despite the shots in the back, Natural Talent still definitely facing over towards A. They do get it right in the end, though, as they find and quickly snuff out Hyper, who tried to go on a flank and pull off the mother of all comebacks. But, I mean, hey, it would have been tough from the start, especially because Estriel wasn't all there, I guess you could say, quite literally. But, yeah, that's going to be a good start for Natural Talent if you ever needed one. This is basically the map where they got to start making the comeback on Corn, like we said, and that's the perfect of all ways to start it. Not really a whole lot of deaths going the way towards Valiant Gaming.
It's pointed out in the pre-show by Kyle. It was Bishy who was the one who led the way for the side of Natural Talent inside of Search and Destroy. This is still continuing to hold strong. So he gets a nice hot start at 2-0. They'll push over towards the B site this time. Valiant Gaming going to be pushing up through middle map. Estriel's going to be able to find the shots onto one, but Catsy there for the immediate trade. Hyper up and towards the top will be found by Bishy. Now it's going to be down to 47 to find this flank. He's able to find the first in Catsy. Knows that Bishy's still inside the room, so in a 2 versus 2, you've got a player pushed over towards the garage, you've got a player up and towards top piano, and the 2 players from VG looking to retake from mid-map.
Amazing that Bishy was able to win that gunfight with 6 health. I guess he just picked the wrong target. 47 gets sussed out by Esporto as well, and Bishy is in prime position to get a kill here, but Flames, he's wise to it. And now, just like that, Esporto knows exactly where he's coming from, but he's playing this very conservative, and Flames, I think he can hop on the bomb from there. Poorly planted, but he does get in a better spot to finish that one off. At the end of the day, Natural Talent still taking that one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Ray. You both know where each other are. Flames, 47 had just got killed from Esparto in that same position, and unfortunately, the leg's sticking out around the corner. It would have been a great play if he had just maybe shimmied over towards the right just a tad bit more, but either way, Esparto had the at least the advantage there, knowing that he was weak and also being able to challenge back out. It would have been a more of a difficult gunfight with the head glitch had he, hopped off the bomb and went to challenge, but either way, it's another good round for the side of Natural Talent on the offensive side. They've won an offense, they've won a defense. Here comes the side of VG. Looks like they're going to be going back over towards A. Is it going to be passive through middle again? We'll just have to find out.
Yeah, especially if 47 had been alive there and been able to cover that defuse, that would have been a totally different story. Esporto trying to get this coverage mid-map, but yeah, it appears that Valiant Gaming starting to get a little bit of a cross, but I don't think they realize how much they've been encroached on by Natural Talent. Esporto, all he has to do is turn this corner into 2 guys, and he's got back shots for days.
Sporto, Mir, combined for 2. They trade out 47, who found the first blood in this round. As Hyper falls as well, it's just control. It's the struggles that are continuously there for Hyper, and it's just unfortunate because in an S&D, you really just need to find that first kill to be able to get yourself not only on the board, but find momentum for yourself specifically, because your team's going to struggle if you cannot be able to pick up the kills in that department, and well, as the struggles continue, as I said beforehand, Valiant Gaming is struggling in S&D. So Flames, last alive in a 1 versus 3. Can you make it work with the bomb down in the B building?
Yeah, definitely on the struggle bus here. First step is to kill Catsy here in the middle of the map. Catsy, if he sees him, he's totally not looking the right direction right now, which is going to allow Flames to shoot him right in the back, and just like that, could make some chaos here, but he's got 15 seconds to do it, Corn.
Still got to get the bomb. Semtex is going to go out. Not going to be able to find him. Catsy down below. Shots on the Flames are going to be able to find it. The Krig reigns supreme inside of the piano hall. The dueling pianos singing their song of a round win for Natural Talent. As we'll see one more time, that blood middle map by Catsy, which really turned the tide of the entire round of S&D right there. Natural Talent. You know, I'll admit when I was wrong, Kyle. I will. I thought VG was going to come out and be able to take the Miami S&D no problem thus far. It's been everything but VG having success.
Yeah, I think the big difference maker is that this is Natural Talent's best mode statistically, aside from the only loss they took to Valiant Gaming, but Valiant Gaming has taken losses to other teams as well that Natural Talent did not. And the main reason for their loss, they at least are going to chalk up to the fact that they weren't practicing nearly at all. So yeah, that combined with the fact that Bishy is here and making big splashes is definitely having an impact as Catsy opens things up for his team.
We got to rotate back over towards A, and that's the biggest problem because Catsy's found 2 in the round, has now found 4 in a row, looking to build potential streaks here throughout the rest of the S&D. Mir gets the bomb down, so with 45 seconds left in a 2 versus 4 retake, the post-plant setup from the side of Natural Talent looking great, but as they even it out, now it's a 1 versus 2, and well, everybody's off the board. This is dominance. This is a complete flip-flop from what we saw in game number 1. I'm all here for it, Kyle.
This is our complete other side of the coin here, Corn. I mean, I swear to God, I wasn't expecting this. I thought this would be the one map that Natural Talent is probably more likely to take than the others. But man, oh man, if they can 6-0 Valiant Gaming, what would that do to your confidence? I mean, Valiant Gaming, I'm sure they're probably in their mind saying S&D is our worst mode statistically. We don't really care. We haven't lost a single respawn this entire season, so we're fine to go into this control, which we have slapped people on. But I mean, hey, it's still got to hurt your confidence a little bit.
Beautiful setup on the defensive side. Catsy finds the cross, and that's going to be another kill. However, he fell last round, so it's not going to be streaks for Catsy inside of the S&D. He can still work towards him a little bit later on, but at 7-4, he's done quite enough for his team already up to this point. 2 versus 2. Piano building, Natural Talent players on the defensive side looking, but here comes Flames around the corner. Bishy makes the play, but Flames finds the kill. 1 versus 2. Mir sees, or at least gets the call out that they're rotating back over towards A, so we can look across the map with 47 finding those first shots, and Valiant Gaming getting the round win. That's their first one on the board here in the S&D. They've got a mountain to climb if they even want to sniff a tie game at 4-4.
That's exactly spot on, Corn. Like, but at the same time, these guys, they're smart players, and they know that definitely the mentality that you can take in this situation and say, guys, let's just take one more round. Guys, let's just take one more round. And then those rounds pile up into a victory. And so, natural talent, I mean, I'm sure you're still going to be on your high from getting to this point, but still, the air of invincibility is definitely gone for them. But how are they going to clap back at this? Are they going to try and overcompensate and just really just bat down on Valiant Gaming? That seems to be the case as they're opening it up very strong.
The atmosphere is set, the humid Miami air, getting into the bullets of each of these weapons and filling up each opponent with a little bit more water every single time, weighing down them as they try to cross the map.
Okay.
But the side of Valiant Gaming, maybe it's disorienting them a little bit with the sea air in their minds as they try to wrap back over towards B, maybe a bit of red tide to go along with it. But either way, as Flames hops around the corner, Bishy and the rest of the side of Natural Talent over towards the garage. You gotta find a retake once again with 30 seconds left. 3 kills and a defuse. Valiant Gaming, can you do it?
I mean, they're in a great spot to do it if they can time their push correctly. Flames, he's basically right up on the bomb site here. He knows Mir is going to be there, but does he know that Bish is going to be challenging him over the top? Apparently 47 does, and he absolutely fries him. Just like that, a great setup is now completely torn apart. Like I said, they just had to time it well. Great teamwork coming in from 47 to watch the bomb defuse totally baits out Mir. And they're in the clear now as Valiant Gaming. They're getting dangerously close to a comeback now, I guess you could say, especially if they win this next cursed round 7. This will be a true test for round number 7, Corn.
Oh boy. Fortunately there for the side of Natural Talent, you have the garage locked down, but you weren't able to pay those tickets for parking. So your rent comes due, the landlord comes home, and Valiant Gaming claim their round win in tow of a little bit of cash. So, you know, Kyle, here in the rounds, 4-2. Valiant Gaming has now won an offense and a defense in back-to-back rounds. You're back on offense going over towards A. Last time at B, it worked out in your favor. As play number 6 pushes up the map. Is Catsy going to play that corner once again? He was spotted out on the cross, so they know exactly where this player is.
Yeah, they're going to have to really try their best to find Catsy out here. The longer he's alive, and if he can get some intel while staying alive, then they're totally fine. But he's going to get some intel in the form that he's getting flashed. But they're not going to know exactly where he is with the stun check. But, oh, Catsy absolutely frying one. Teammates not going to be necessarily coming to his aid. Catsy holding it down solo dolo here. But wall banging him takes down 47. Holy crap. Flames, he finally cleans that one up. But at the same time, Estrel getting some good kills on the cross. This is an even game.
Flames, you're the last one alive here. 4 in a row. Looking for the last 2 players from the side of Natural Talent. Around the corner, Bishy comes, gets some shots, won't be able to find the kill. So now on a 1 versus 2. Once again, you want to stay alive here. You want to play for these streaks because they can change the entire complexion of the game, but you also want a round win. And I believe he just spotted Bishy around that left side corner there. Mir with the shots across. He'll have some help to clean up the kill. Match point for the side of Natural Talent. 1 round win away from tying things up at 1 apiece and making this series outlook just a little bit more optimistic for themselves.
Yeah, main thing here is that Catsy is not only able to take down 1, but 2 in 47, who has just been their pop-off player pretty much all night. Flames does eventually get the better of him, but, like, when you're taking down, like, someone like 47, it's definitely difficult. I mean, Hyper, he's definitely got the best KDs, but it's definitely a lot harder to get kills as an AR when you don't have subs to come up and support you and take a little bit of the close-up attention away from you. Natural Talent, they're going to be trying to go for a little bit of an A play. They're going to be chowing out 47 here, but let's see if 47 can pull a little bit of a Catsy here, or will it fall flat on arrival here, Corn? Let me know what you think. Estimations here.
Estimations, I think 47 is going to be able to find these first couple of kills, but the important thing you have to note here is he's got a Krig out instead of that the 74U, so I just love how they use the umbrella as cover, but he's going to spot Mir coming up. He's going to be able to get the first shots. Looks over towards the left. Bishy's going to be there for the trophy system wide, but Bishy gives away his positioning through the umbrella, isn't able to find the kill, but Bishy backs off as well. So as 47 stays there behind the cover, Bishy will come back with the wall bangs, and now in a 1 versus 3 Hyper. 1 and 7. Don't be a breadstick. At least go for the duck. Shots up top towards a Sporto. Around the corner, he's going to be able to pick off Catsy. Diamante, can you finish the kill up towards top balcony? No. You don't have the bomb to work with. Natural Talent, don't even need to get it down. 6-2 victory in the S&D. Tie the series up 1-1, and folks, we've got a grand finals that's at least going to a map number 4. We will see a checkmate hardpoint.
Yeah, you really got to admire the tenacity there at the end from Hyper, just to try and claw desperately at a Sporto to try and get that kill with the Diamante, even though he's long gone. He does get a nice turn and burn on Catsy, but that's about all he gets, and difficult situation to come back from. Even Stevens in the series now, that was definitely the one that Natural Talent needed to take.
All right, Shifty, go ahead and roast me.
Yes.
Go ahead and roast me
Definitely.
about my 3-0 pick, because I
Hey.
know I deserve it. I
man.
underestimated Natural Talent in the S&D. They win it on Miami, and folks, I'll be there this weekend. But they do that, and now the series is tied up 1-1. So my 3-0's out the window. I thought it was going to be convincing by the side of VG, but NT, they are well and ready to play here. And if this goes to a map number 5, I'm a bit scared, to be honest, for the side of VG, because that S&D looked almost abysmal.
I mean, well, and we're seeing them bounce back in a huge way. And I think that's really, really prevalent with Catsy, who, again, by the way, we didn't get a chance to go over his performance in the Week 8 match against this Valiant squad. This man, let me check my notes here. In the match number 8, in the Week 8 match against Valiant, where Valiant took this in a 3-0 fashion, Catsy went a total of 40 and 71 across those 3 maps. He single-handedly in that S&D just assured 1/4 of those kills by going 12 and 6. So Catsy bouncing back in a huge way and then some for Natural Talent to not only take 4 rounds right off of the beginning, but finish it off in a great fashion as well. One thing that I also liked to highlight that I'd like to bring up here as well is one thing Kyle talked about was the ARs going absolutely huge. Natural Talent won 5 of those 6 rounds that they won were their first bloods. So they were able to assure 5 of the 8 rounds with those first bloods, and they were all done with Krigs. So all 5 of those first bloods were all done with assault rifles for the side of Natural Talent. Kyle, how are you feeling right now if you are Natural Talent, bouncing back, like you said, riding the high as we go into, realistically, the other worst mode combination for Valiant Gaming, and them coming in at 7-4 in the 9-2 rather, and 7-4 for Natural Talent. So pretty even, Stevens, and on one of the more even control maps here.
Well, I mean, they've looked pretty damn good in it in the playoffs there. So I don't know. I think Valiant Gaming going to be looking pretty good because they've been on the come up. But speaking of people on the come up, one person I forgot to count in is Catsy, especially with the Krig. We saw him in the last NT match up against Rated Gold, which I think that was Brett and Matt on. But man, oh man, they sent Catsy in by himself. They just left the other 3 in the back of the map, and they just let Catsy do what Catsy does. And as of recently, what Catsy does is get a whole lot of kills. He wins his ones, and especially in that situation where he was alone on the beach, man took 2 for the price of 1, killed 2, and died. But, I mean, hey, that's exactly what you gotta do. And basically, coming off of that, Catsy looking good, the entire team looking good coming off of that especially. I don't know, man. This was the mode that they lost on. Granted, they were sandbagging it up against Rated Gold, but without the practice of going up against a solid team like Valiant Gaming had with Heartbreakers, how are you going to really come at this? That's the real question in my mind.
I agree with you 110%. I think this map is actually going to be a much, much closer respawn than we saw in the hardpoint. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome. Grand Finals map series is tied up at 1 apiece. Valiant Gaming taking an ass-whooping victory, 250 to 105, and then Natural Talent whipping that ass right back in return with a 6-2 as we are loading up into map number 3. Raid Control, Corn, Kyle, bring us all the action. I want to see a round number 5 here. What do you guys think? Will it even be close, or will we have a repeat from the control that we had in that Week 8 series, which was on this map, in a 3-1 Valiant victory?
Oh, well, here's the thing, right? Number 1, if you're without Natural Talent, Catsy's been playing great all series. Hunter just highlighted 12 kills in the S&D right there, but more importantly, map number 1, 26 and 22. The closest teammate to him in terms of kills was 19 and 27, and that was a Sporto. So if you want to win the not only a respawn, but if you want to win a control, Esporto's got to step up. Mir, Bishy, they have to be there as well. And with Bishy having an S&D performance last game that was somewhat comparable to Katsy in that regard, I believe this map does favor them a bit more, being able to play a bit more aggressive. But we know how good 47 and the rest of this Valiant Gaming roster can be when it comes to respawn. Folks, if you are just joining us, 250 to 105 was the map number 1 score. It was essentially almost a 100-point club where VG was able to win that in flying colors behind 47's 32 and 18 performance. Multiple streaks throughout the entirety of that game, but it was the side of Natural Talent who was able to at least kind of claw their way back into the game just a tad bit at the end of it. So going into a control, Kyle, we now know that to get to a round number 5, it's no longer kills, so teams can be a bit more aggressive and really not have to worry about as much of giving away those lives. More so, you just have to worry about getting those control captures on either of the 2 zones on the offensive side.
I mean, I think this map was already kind of like that even before the change. People just trying to win out on the offenses. And Corn, yeah, we're going to need to see a little bit now. Valiant Gaming, they have looked so good, not just on this mode, but on this map in general. It's going to be absolutely necessary that Natural Talent can take an offense on them. But first, let's see how they do on the defense. Valiant Gaming going headstrong into A, but giving up a lot of mid-map pressure in the process.
Mir on the flank, gonna come through in 5-1. Find shots there on to fire flames, whatever you want to call them. Either way, 29 to 27. And folks, it is a visual glitch on the right side of your screen. There is 4 players for the side of Natural Talent. We're just not going to be able to see Esporto on the map, at least for round number 1. It'll fix itself after the first round of control does go through. 27 to 23 for live disparity, but you've got to tick over towards A. You can fly back over towards B, maybe find some time, and you've got the close spawns over towards bottom bedroom. If you're the side of Natural Talent, if you get a couple of kills here, you want to put one up in towards top or bottom bedroom.
Yes, indeed. What's not a visual glitch is the fact that Valiant Gaming have really broken Natural Talent, despite the fact that they were playing the flag tag very well. They even beat them to the objective and anticipated it, but they still smoked them off the objective. The question is, are they going to be able to get back in here, Corn, or will that be 3 points into the hands of Valiant Gaming right off the rip? And that would be very, very disastrous.
Natural Talent, they wanted to find a pinch play through middle map and be able to flank the players from Valiant Gaming. They had 2 players there to be able to do it, except it just didn't come through. So not only do they have those players there, but they lose all mid-map control with the challenges that come through. Now Valiant Gaming can get into kitchen, they can get in the middle map, and they can also play from their spawn if they lose a couple of players on that aggressive assault towards the A site. That being said, Natural Talent, they can have a nice little setup here, but they've got to be careful that 47 isn't able to come through the back and find a kill, but also number 2, you've got Estriel there too, and they're both on streaks looking to find not only an artillery barrage, but potential cruise missile in just round number 1 of the control with a tick already on A in 1 minute and 20 left.
Man, they really got to take this dude down. Katsy, he does get him, but was it in time? I wasn't quite paying total attention. Let's see, Estriel, did he get the streaks? No. It appears that Katsy was able to take him down right before the fatal kill that would have done it in for them. Mare, they've just been giving up. They being Valiant Gaming have been giving up so much mid-map pressure, and I think that's like the 3rd time that Mare has been just allowed to do that by Valiant Gaming. It's like, I swear to God, dude, this is just great mid-map play and is yielding so many good benefits for Natural Talent.
With that flank from Mir, biggest push of the game because it completely shuts down the entire push that Valiant Gaming had got back over towards A, but it's 47 and Estriel combined for 2. Now if you're Natural Talent, you gotta fly back towards a point. 47 playing close. Will be traded out. Esporto just has to fly on in. Estriel is there. Round number 1 to Valiant Gaming on the offensive side, and although the first push from the side of Natural Talent really set the tone for the entirety of round number 1 of this control, after that, the B push that got the entirety of it controlled, as well as putting an extra minute on the clock, combined with that first tick of progress they had over towards A, put it out of the reach of the side of Natural Talent, and even Mir finding 3 on the flank just wasn't enough to be able to come away with that the defensive round win.
Yeah, that's really interesting, the fact that they were actually able to win that with their lack of mid-map pressure there, Corn. Like, we did see a lot of great flanks coming out from Mir, but in the end, surprisingly, it just was not enough. Even though he was able to come around the back and just slam them from behind most of the time, Valiant Gaming, they were just able to stack the hill and get so much time before Mir was able to do that.
Here we go, pushing back to middle map. Catsy's gonna be able to find the kill, and more importantly, Natural Talent will find that first tick on towards the A site. Stun's gonna be out, but it is gonna be Hyper and Estriel who are gonna be able to take those kills down. Although if Sporto finds a trade, Valiant Gaming comes through and knocks down all 4 players of Natural Talent off the rip. And as Flames is over here towards the left side, might have to cool down in the pool after getting those shots hit all the way across under towards bottom bedroom. And if he continues to heat up in this game, and Valiant Gaming is able to keep continuing to hit their strides across the map, we continuously see this out of Natural Talent struggling, and it's been Bishi and Sporto who have needed to step it up in the respawns. They've got to be able to do it here, and they're the first 2 on the point over towards A.
Yeah, cooling in the pool, but still taking Natural Talent to school right now, apparently. They are going to be getting a slight little bit of control over here, but that's only insofar that 47 doesn't get this flank off timed. He does cut off the reinforcements, so it's still going to be meaning that Sporto is going to be capturing this the same amount of time. 47, he's going to be running right on in, and just as I was saying, they're getting taken to school. They get a nice cap on A, and they're going to try and come around the side. They're really going to need to catch out Flames in here, and they do just that, but Valiant Gaming, they might actually be pushing up a little bit too far for their own good because, I mean, Catsy and the guys, there's no mid-map presence from Valiant Gaming, so they might easily get caught out here if they don't make these adjustments quickly enough.
You might get caught out, but what you're doing is you're allowing your cells not only to have full control of the water side, but you're also spawning this side of Natural Talent all the way in towards back garage, or even worse, down towards south side of the map and ramp. So Valiant Gaming, as they find these couple of kills up towards the map, you've got Hyper who's been able to find 3 in a row, 10 and 6. This is probably the best performance he's had inside of a playoff game throughout the course of this playoffs. But as Estriel falls and a Sporto and Mir combine for 2, Hyper's going to be there to find yet another kill in a row. That's going to be 4 in a row. That does a great deal for the confidence of VG all around the table because they've got a 7-point lead, or rather a 7-life lead, and no ticks over towards A for Natural Talent.
Yeah, that's a great thing to point out there, Corn, is the fact that Valiant Gaming, they can play the war of attrition now with Natural Talent. They can die basically double the amount of times. Even if Natural Talent trades out 2 for 1, they still will run out of lives before VG. And in fact, they are out of lives. This is their last chance to make something good, and I just don't think it is going to happen. They're just trying to get as many kills as they can, maybe try and stockpile for streaks here as Bishi. But, I mean, yeah, it's basically back to the drawing board, thinking about how you can combat this from next round. Because after this, like Valiant Gaming, you've won an attack and a defense. It's going to be tough for anything to be done here for Natural Talent, but what a better time than the present to try and figure out how you're going to do that.
You had a great start to the game, but unfortunately after the first round, it's been relatively nothing. It's been Catsy who once again has stepped it up. The only one positive for the side of Natural Talent after round of number 2. 2-0 lead here for the side of Valiant Gaming. And I want to make this point real quick, though. We have seen the likes of the Los Angeles Guerrillas on raid control go up 2-0, and then all of a sudden just lose 2 rounds in a row, and to be tied up at 5, or rather going to around number 5. But, you know, Kyle, as we look at both of these teams, we see Natural Talent struggles in the respawn department specifically. This does not bode well for a map number 4 once we do get there, if Valiant Gaming is able to take this in a 3-0 fashion and once again have everybody from the side of Natural Talent except maybe 1 or 2 players struggling to an extreme extent.
Yeah, that's really what we've been seeing a whole lot here, Corn, is Natural Talent. They have been not doing too good on the night over in the, not just the respawns, but especially the hard points. Like, I mean, I can't even say especially because they're looking slightly worse in this than they were in the hard point. Estriel just going in, going ham, getting full control over this in Valiant Gaming. They're playing this a little bit more conservative here, I guess you could say. They're not just full stacking the objective, but instead, oh, going for a little bit of style points here is going to be main man. A Sporto just putting a bullet right into his brain in emphatic form, only allowing 1 tick on the objective, but the flag tag being played a lot better by Valiant Gaming as they have now got a full setup on B as a result of this.
Same situation beforehand. You spawn closer under the bedroom after that first A push doesn't work out your way. You've got a 5-life disparity that favors the side of Natural Talent. And as they start to push back, it's going to be Flames who is still there in 47 trying to make these plays. Now they're back over at A. They've stacked the point. They've got 2 ticks. You've still got 47 being the first player pushed up the map over towards the B site. Bishi's going to be there. 47 will play his life, jump around the corner, be able to shoot a couple basketballs, but ultimately won't find the kill. You're going to have to look at the players from where side of Valiant Gaming spawn. They spawn a little bit closer under towards bottom bedroom than the side of Natural Talent might have liked, but you still got Estriel on the flank, looking to make this pinch play, but it's going to be a bit of a calculated one because he's not only going to have to move up the map with precision, he's also got to be careful of the players that are trying to sniff him out in the back of the spawn for Natural Talent.
Yeah, and in the meantime, things not going quite your way mid-map. 47, he's trying to find one down there, but he does eventually get the better of the guy in the spawn there. Estriel just going to cause a little bit of cause for concern there, but eventually does get sussed out himself. Natural Talent, They're in a good spot to hold this down, but I mean, if Valiant Gaming do get one break, which they have just gotten the potential to do so here, yeah, they're just going to be frying right now. They can just full stack this at any second and get these last 2 ticks in a heartbeat, Corn.
Pushing up, you've got 2 players now from the backside, over by Bedroom, starting to get up the map. Esporto's going to find a huge first kill, but with Katsy being weak, 47, and Hyper being able to combine for a couple of team shots, you're not going to be able to get the player in towards basketball court. The break comes back from Natural Talent, and they hold on strong. 6-12. Valiant Gaming, you've got one more solid 4-man push over towards the point to make this round work. You've got a player middle map of Mir who's able to find one. If he can hop back over the wall, maybe find some shots there onto Hyper, it's going to be good. However, you've got 2 players down already. Valiant Gaming now with 2 lives remaining. We've seen incredible clutches before, and with 47 and Estriel being the tag team to try and complete this, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a last-ditch attempt, but it's going to fall flat on his face. Natural Talent, they get at least the 3rd round win. They get on the board.
Yes, they do indeed get on the board, and one little bit of a highlight I want to make there is that Mir, man, just showed absolutely no fear there. He was up against, I think, Flames, but still went for the jump shells despite the fact that he was literally 1 HP. That takes some serious guts. We're going to be seeing the assassination through the wall here, but Katsy's still getting a whole lot of kills in the meantime. That's a great round from Natural Talent. They played the War of Attrition pretty well right on back. Path to victory here, Corn, is Katsy. They really, really need him. Basically, they need a bait for him right now. He's 3 kills off of streaks, pretty much. So if they can just get some solid amounts of kills here for Katsy, and he can get on streaks, then he'll be looking pretty dang good to get them a little bit of room back into this game.
Well, they gotta be careful of this mid-map push, though, because you've got 2 players pushed up. Player number 4 and Hyper is making the same play that Mir did a couple rounds ago in round number 1. He's gonna be able to take out that first player, Fishy, the second one to fall down, the headshot and toe. He'll be killed over towards the ramp, but that allows us out of Valiant Gaming at least to have more map presence. They can push up, they can reset on the defensive side. Natural Talent, you've got to tick over towards A now with the getting back on that point, but is 47 now making the flank. Fishy has read it, but are you gonna be able to find the kill before he's able to do the damage? No, it's there. 3 players fall, everybody back to the respawn for Natural Talent, and VG's got a 4-point lead on the defensive side.
Interesting. Do they know that he's there based off the spawns? I can't really say for certain, but regardless, he is basically spawning them over to A. He's waiting for them to push up into him, anticipating the push, but instead, Natural Talent, they go and they pull a little bit of Britney Spears and hit A one more time, as they're still getting some kills in mid-map. I think this is the first time we've seen the offensive side get mid-map control for both sides here, Corn. Very short-lived, though, as Valiant Gaming, they kill the guy coming from there, get control right back of it. Trying to get some exit frags here as well, and Estriel still doing damage in the spawns. This is looking like a potential for a good hold here at the end of the day for Valiant.
This is what we don't see when Natural Talent's on the defensive side. They don't push up all the way over towards the B site because Valiant Gaming will not allow them to do so. They're able to at least win those gunfights over by Bedroom, and it works out in their favor. But here comes 47. The player we all know and love, a household name here inside not only the amateur scene, but in K7 alike. 23 and 22. Mir's going to find one with Katsy up towards middle map. They've got presence. And if you're on the offensive side, you'll love to get in the kitchen here because that's the best way and the most opportune way. You're going to be able to break over towards B, but you got a minute left. You're down by 4 lives. Valiant Gaming, they still pushed all the way up and towards Bedroom. They can make the flank happen, and they have a pinch play set up.
They really do, Corn. But Fishy coming around the side here. He does get some good control over their spawn, but not in time to stop Flames from spawning there himself. But basically, they're going to be forcing the spawn over towards Laundry, but Bishy's not really in a good position to cover it. 5 health does go down, but at the same time, Natural Talent, they can flood mid-map. Hyper's happy to let them do that, though. But can he hold up against all these dudes? No, he cannot. Flames gonna pretty much try and do the same thing, but has a similar amount of luck with it. Natural Talent, they've gotten some great little bits of frags here. 47 in the back of the map could do some stuff here. That's basically the last thing they gotta worry about here. But yeah, Natural Talent, they can still do this.
You double-chowed in the kitchen. You gave yourself an opportunity over towards B, but now you fall. 20 seconds left. One last push. You know 47's still up and toward your top bedroom. You're still falling off. 47's gonna find 6. Make it number 7. Put the game away. Tuck him to sleep. Put him to bed. Because, my God, with 1 life remaining, Natural Talent not being able to get out of their spawn, and 47 holding down the bedroom, he has found himself to be the Grim Reaper of Raid. With a 2-1 lead here in the series now for the side of Valiant Gaming. Natural Talent, you've got 1 more chance on a checkmate hardpoint. And if it's anything like map number 1, this series is done and dusted.
Wow, what a control that was. And a back and forth one at moments, to say the least. I mean, we see those brief flashes in the pan of greatness from both squads. We see both Katsy and Estriel going off on their own respective team. One thing that I will highlight again, I have the distinct benefit of not having to talk quite as much throughout this, so I can pay attention to some of the more minute details. And one thing that I saw on average from Valiant is Valiant, on average, 1 minute and 50 seconds left after they cap that first point. So, I mean, we're talking they are capping that first 3 set of ticks within 45 seconds in game before they're able to move on to the next one. So phenomenal stuff there from the side of Valiant Gaming. As you are right, we have a map number 4 coming up here, and it is checkmate on hardpoint. But with that being said, we have seen now that the ARs have come to life a little bit from both sides. We've seen Katsy. He's been going off. He's been having himself a hell of a series for the side of Natural Talent. Does that benefit them here with a map like Checkmate? Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing that you bring up there, Shifty, is the fact that the ARs have been really on point tonight so far from Natural Talent, especially since map number 2. But looking at this map holistically, Natural Talent do not have the best track record on this map specifically. Yeah, rated gold, they got beat by Natural Talent on this map, but at the same time, in the ones prior to this, I don't even remember what team it was, but it was a team that was way below the skill level of Natural Talent. And
Monolithic.
Yes, it was Monolithic who got beat in the first round, I think, in the wildcard round.
It was.
And they got, at one point, it was 101-1 into the favor of Monolithic up against Natural Talent on this very map. So that does not bode very well for Natural Talent when you're going up against Valiant Gaming, especially if you find yourself in a similar situation of 101. How are you going to come back from it this time?
I don't disagree with you. I mean, we've seen the hard point has been on point for the side of Valiant Gaming. Again, if you just joined us, welcome. This is going to be map number 4. The hard point number 1 on Garrison. Going pretty far in favor of Valiant, I think, to say the least.
Smacking.
Yeah, 250 to 105. And we had 3 separate members of that Valiant Gaming squad with 25 plus kills, Hyper being the only one staying behind that, but he had amalgamated almost 2.5 minutes in Hill for the side of Valiant Gaming. So again, this map, not too dissimilar in some ways, shapes, and forms from some of the hills on Garrison. We very well may see Hyper take that hunker down position and be okay with being the designated hill guy, if you will, especially with how well 47 and Estriel have been picking up the kills around them. Natural Talent, they have their work cut out for them, to say the least. Corn, what are you thinking here as we are going to be loading up into number 4? This is it, potentially match point for Valiant Gaming, and they could finish off season 3 right here. Again, a culmination of all of our hard work. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to Kyle for running the production, and all of you at home watching. This might just be it. Corn, what are we thinking here as we progress into map number 4?
I think I'm thinking what everybody else inside of the chat, everybody that's spectating this is thinking, and specifically the side of VEG is thinking. Obviously, if you're on Natural Talent, you're going, all right, boys, one more game. We got this. We're going to force a map number 5 here, but this series is over. We can smell it from a mile away. It's like the roadkill that was outside yesterday. You can smell it even inside the house when everything and every door is closed, every window is shut. But folks, one more map for Natural Talent to stay alive here inside of this best of 5 series. There is not a second best of 5 series coming. This is only a single elimination bracket here for playoffs. So what's our final game, Kyle? As we get loaded up here onto Checkmate for the final time here, potentially inside of, well, it's Checkmate for the final time for sure, inside of season 3 of K7. What are your thoughts? What are your concerns here? More so concerns for the side of Natural Talent to be able to get a win.
Like you said, Corn, the stench is definitely in the air. It's like the leftover Arby's in Corn's fridge after tonight. But Yeah, it's...
I don't need leftovers. I'm
Yeah,
a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
My stomach's chock full with that delicious roast beef.
Yeah, your stomach is also chocked after eating Arby's. Just kidding! But, ladies and gentlemen...
I can't say you're wrong. I'm definitely going to let it out after this is over. But, you know, we got to keep it in because it pents up even more energy for myself.
Alright, but back on topic here, Corn. Valiant Gaming, they're definitely looking to seal this one out right now. They have a great track record, especially compared to natural talents on this map. But this would be the ultimate slap in the face for Valiant Gaming, saying, we're gonna beat you on our worst map, and we're gonna do it emphatically. In 47, he's just gonna be opening it up with a little bit of a team kill here, but I mean, yeah, this is literally an interesting way to start it off. Just both teams clashing into this hill, but I mean, at the same time, Corn, natural talent, they've got the spawns, so they can afford to do this.
Inherently, there's still hope in this series. Esporto, if he has the game that everybody knows that he is capable of doing and is able to produce for the side of natural talent, then this series, this game, completely swings potentially in the favor of natural talent. But, that is a big but, because of the fact that Esporto would have to go ahead and be that player that we know he can be, which he's not really been able to show off throughout the entirety of this series thus far. So, with Bishy losing that gunfight to Hyper, Estriel being able to find the kill there, Valiant Gaming are in towards top lane for the final about 10 seconds of the hard point. They've got rotations over towards P2, natural talent. They're able to break it here, usually, but against the VG roster, it's going to be even more difficult.
Yeah, especially with 47 pushed up like this, he's going to be hampering at least a lot of their attacks. If he doesn't kill all of them, which I highly doubt he will, but, like, I say that, but he has done it in the past. Anyways, he is going to at least slow them down and get some intel for Estriel to pick up the pieces for him. Estriel going to get basically, I was going to say another one, but Katsi does kind of help him out and get that final kill. They are going to get a little bit close in Esporto. This is exactly what you need in terms of contention here. They're not really too far behind here, Corn, especially with Bishy coming around the back here. But at the same time, you see Valiant Gaming, the experience is showing. They are got an incredible hold right now.
Estriel with a kill on Katsi under the plane. That opens the door for a P3 rotation. If you're able to win this gunfight against Bishy, it's going to allow you to have the entirety of that north side of the map under your control. However, with Bishy being able to take that kill, and the rest of Valiant Gaming now just being pinned all the way back in towards a P2 spawn, similar to what we would see in a checkmate control. It's natural talent who technically have the advantage in middle map. But as 3 go down, you have the last one alive in Mir. Hasn't given away his position just yet. Looking for a player that's going to be pushing up here towards top lane. 47 falls. Now an opportunity for natural talent to get in towards this hard point, but you've got to win the kills on the north side of the map. You've got to get control over towards P4 if you want to get a chance at getting into P3.
Yeah, it's very scrappy for the spawns right now, Corn, but at the end of the day, natural talent, they really do need this time, so they can't be too stressed about the spawns, especially because they can get them back later. Now, Esporto, he's in a position where he's going to try and fight for this next hill control. He's going to have to deal with 2, but I mean, Esporto, he's the type of guy that can do some of that. Hyper, he's going to be seeing him very close and personal with him. He totally fries him, especially with some help from his teammates. Finds 47 as well. And he's actually going to overextend over the objective, not just to get some more kills, but to make it so that they can push into the next hill spawns very easily as a result of this, potentially.
10 more seconds left in P3. You see the hold that Valiant Gaming has over towards point number 4. They're not necessarily in the hard point just yet, but being able to pinch it from both sides and having a little bit of southern side control allows them to have and set up a pinch at any time they so choose. Mir finds some shots there onto Hyper. Hyper will find the kill. Flames in the back with 1 onto Esporto. Makes it 2 on 4 in a row here for the side of Valiant Gaming. Now everything's getting shut down. You've got yourself basically about to eclipse the 3-digit mark and get past 100 points. Natural talent, you're down by about 60 right now. And if this game continues to spiral even further out of control and everybody on the team continues to remain negative, you've got 6 and 7, 2 players at 6 and 10, and 1 at 5 and 10. The slaying was the biggest component of natural talent's failures in map number 1 and map number 3. Continuously in the respawn, it's the exact same Achilles heel for the side of NT.
It really is, but also the fact that the kills that they are getting aren't really getting them in towards the objective as much as Valiant Gaming's is. The kills that they get, they mean a whole lot more than natural talents. I've been seeing most of Valiant Gaming's kills, although Flames has more than anyone else, everybody's been getting kills that matter for Valiant Gaming. Whether it be it gets them a spawn flip, or it just puts natural talent so far back when it comes to getting a secondary attack for the current hill. Yeah, but the thing is, Esporto here at the same time, he can totally play spoiler here. He's going to catch out 47. Estriel, he's not going to chow this. He knows that they still got the spawns, and that they're going to be chilling like villains trying to hold it down up against Esporto.
Well, he's able to find 1, escapes with his life, But it is going to be 47 who's there to find the kill. Fishy in towards the hard point. The contest comes through. Flames finds the shot punch, but it is going to be the side of Natural Talent who find the rest of the kills and should be able to find the scrap time of this hard point with about 25 seconds left. Valiant Gaming, you're well and okay with giving up the last, I'd say 20 seconds of this hard point to set up for point number 1, get top lane control, but more importantly, keep the entire side of Natural Talent still spawning in towards that bottom left side of the map. Because number 1, that gives you the spawns for V2. Number 2, you've got full top lane control. And number 3, if you're all the way spawning in that back side of the map, then you're able to set up a spawn trap, which is going to even further dampen the side of Natural Talent's efforts to get towards the hard point. And there it is. Kills come through. They're going to spawn over towards P2. But with the sling, again, being on the forefront for Valiant Gaming, it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a problem, especially since they've got 50 seconds left in point number 1 to work with.
That's exactly the problem here, Corn. The silver lining for Natural Talent right now is that they made P5 so scrappy, and that's usually the hill that most people get time off of on this map. They can make these next couple hills very scrappy themselves, and if, like you said, they're having an issue in the gunfight right now, if they can just fix that right now and start turning it up there on the scrappy hills, then they can really make something out of this game still. They're not so far behind that they can't come back yet, but with a whole lot of time going in the hands of Valiant Gaming on P1, how long are they really going to be able to stay into this game?
I was going to say, you know, it's nice to say, you know, Natural Talent, they're not too far out to make a comeback, but down by 130 points on the second set of rotations. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where it's great to say, but in fruition, is it going to be the actuality? Here, though, they are already rotated over towards point number 2. They've got to be aware of the north side push from Valiant Gaming coming from the P4 spawns. If they lock this down for a full 30 seconds, they will be able to get themselves over the 100-point mark, but then you've still basically got to get a full 20 seconds to even think about getting the lead inside of this map, let alone being able to just tie the game with Valiant Gaming being able to slay out the way they are. So, still, Natural Talent holding from the front side. They've been able to win the majority of kills, and I always say this, but, you know, when a team really starts to make this comeback, where was this at the beginning of the game when they needed it the most to make sure they didn't get down by this large of a deficit?
Yeah, a change has definitely been made in the minds of Natural Talent. They are slamming Valiant Gaming on the approach to this objective right here. That was the thing that we were saying that they really needed to do in order to come back into this game. But at the same time, Corn, is it going to be enough with the amount of time remaining? They've really chunked down on that lead to having 3 times less to now about only, just about a hill's worth less. And Estriel, he's in a position where he can get caught out here. He does. And just like that, Katsy and the guys, they've kind of got Valiant Gaming at their mercy here in terms of positioning. They're just going to hop right on 47, they're going to find a Sporto, the guy on the objective, but Katsy, he was waiting for them to do that. He fries one, knows where another one is. I'm sure they were calling out names. They find 47, and just like that, great positioning for them again. But at this rate, they're really going to need to make some time off this hill as well, Corn.
You know, 47 made the perfect play there. Was able to get only 1 kill after, I mean, even though he falls down, he waited about 20 seconds to push back towards the hill, and all it was one little ripple in the wave pool of Natural Talent that completely caused the breakdown, allowed Valiant Gaming to get onto the hard point, and what looked like it was going to be a good 30 to 40 seconds on point number 3 for the side of NT. VG popped back off due to 47's kill and the trades coming through. He just bought his teammates time to get back over towards the point. They win the majority of the kills, and now they're also set up for P4 with that just 10 seconds left on point number 3. With 30 seconds left to win, Kyle, this, it looks like Valiant Gaming is going to be crowned our K7 Season 3 champions.
Yeah, slamming the door shut right in Esporto's face there is Estriel. They've got the proper setup here, Corn. I don't know if Natural Talent are going to be able to, especially with the time remaining, get this going. Katsy, he's waiting for anyone to come and help him out, or at least for his health to regen, but he still gets slammed by Flames. Valiant Gaming, they've got one last hole that they have to make before they are Season 1 champions here. They're going to try and get on the objective, but Mir, he gets stopped short as well. Katsy not going to be able to make it, even if he did stay alive there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Valiant Gaming are going to be crowned your champions of the K7 League first season of Cold War.
Kill after kill. Game after game, a wavering map number 2 for Valiant Gaming. Doesn't matter the respawns. All it takes to get it done, they get it done on Checkmate Hardpoint map number 4. A best of 5 series where everybody thought that VG was the favorite. They come out on top, and there it is, Kyle. Valiant Gaming. A full season of great gameplay comes to one final culmination where not only you get that sweet, sweet cash prize, you get the bragging rights, but now you are solidified in K7 League history.
Big facts.
History.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
a great accolade. You're
That
remembered
is.
for years and years and years down the line.
That is. I'm sure Estriel will be sitting around with his grandchildren saying, yes, I was the K7 Season 3 league champion. However, with that being said, again, congratulations to Valiant Gaming. They realistically never turned back after they took over for the roster of the VG side during that week number 3. Again, if you didn't know this, Valiant Gaming coming in with a different roster during the first 2 weeks and going 0-2. And then the Estriel and 47 crew coming in, getting picked up by VG and not losing a series for the rest of the season. We saw that on full display there, the dominance from one of the top 16 challengers teams in and throughout this league, and realistically coming out and stomping a mud hole in natural talent here tonight. Thank you guys for watching. It was a hell of a series. It's been a hell of a year. We absolutely love all of you. It is not possible without you guys watching. Please like the stream, sub to the YouTube, follow us all on Twitter at ShiftyHJP, at McCornMeal, at Comica_18. Shout out to all of our partners for making this happen. And again, you guys in the audience, the most important, most pivotal piece of this stream. Without you guys, it wouldn't be worth doing. Thank you guys for watching. And again, on the conclusion for Season 3, congratulations to Valiant Gaming, who will take home the cash prize. Follow K7 League on Twitter to follow the notifications for season number 4. It's going to be a banger. I know all of you guys are going to be there. We've got one more guaranteed season of Cold War coming up. It'll be later this year. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night.